Today is day 5. We are reading from A Gracious Space, which is my book to help you sustain your homeschooling commitment. And thanks for hopping on late this morning. And let's just dive right in and get reading, shall we? Day 5. Be good to you this weekend. So keep this in mind for the coming weekend, okay? Good morning, Vicki, Kara, Lisa. Oh, good. I'm glad to see everybody jumping on. Hey, Heather. And feel free to share this broadcast and remind people because I am a little late today. Okay, day 5. Be good to you this weekend. Congratulations. Another week in the books and another week of commitment to your wonderful family completed. What will you do for yourself when the weekend comes? Take a little time to be with you on your own terms. Here are ways to look after yourself when you can't leave the children. So these are ideas that you can do to take care of yourself right now while your kids are all around you, while you don't have a spouse handy to look after your kids. Okay? Here we go. 1. A bar of chocolate that you eat. No one else gets a bite. Pair it with tea or wine or Diet Coke, the luxury comfort beverage of your choice. Sneak it if you must, away from may I have a bite, mommy. Number 2, take a bath. Take the baby in with you if you need to. Get in the warm water and add tear-free bubbles. Number 3, read a poem alone. I like to do this at bedtime. It is nice by candlelight after everyone is asleep. Light the candle, read the poem, and be quiet. Notice the silence in the house before you crash into your pillow. Okay, when you can leave the house for an hour, here are some pick-me-ups. Ready? Take a walk alone, without the dog, child, or baby in the backpack. Bundle up if it's cold, and get into nature, the beach, woods, near a lake, on a bike trail. Breathe. Take photos with your phone. Notice the sky, the way it is huge and open, and the ground, the way it supports and holds you. Remember your place in the universe. Be thankful. Number 2, get to a library and hide in one of those private rooms. You may need to reserve its use. Bring a journal, a box of Kleenex, and reading material, your iPad or a book, magazine, or devotional literature. Spend an hour alone with no agenda. Allow whatever is there to come up. Notice it, be with it, write it down, breathe it out. Pray if you do. Say affirmations if that's what you do. This is your adult time out. 3, exercise. Run, go to a spinning or Zumba class, ride a bike, sign up for a one-time yoga lesson. All right, and when you can take a whole day, oh, the gloriousness. 1, take yourself to an art museum, sans children. Do it. It's the most incredibly satisfying experience. Roam the halls, pause, be moved, be quiet. Let tears or smiles come and go freely. Go at your own pace, like or dislike, freely. Number 2, sign up for a nature walk or go skiing for a day or join a hiking group. Be with people who don't homeschool, but who do live out in the world. Explore, rub shoulders, and use your body. Number 3, see a double feature at the movies, or go to a movie followed by lunch or dinner alone, followed by my favorite, coffee at Barnes & Noble, while I page through books I don't have to buy. Good luck. Be kind to you. You worked hard this week and every week. You deserve some space to rest, and know it. Quote of the day: the delights of self-discovery are always available. That's what Gail Sheehy says. And here's a sustaining thought. Imagine an hour, a half day, or a whole day all to yourself. What will you do? What will you observe? What will you feel? An adventure awaits you. Plan it now. So, this weekend's coming. Today's only Monday, and you can think about getting an hour, a half day, or a day, or perhaps you can just find time this week to sneak that bar of chocolate or read a poem or sink into a warm tub and have some time to yourself. My favorite of all these options, and I've done all of them, is to go to the art museum alone. I challenge any of you who've never done that to do it. It's it's one of the most restorative experiences I can imagine. There's no pressure. You don't have to teach anyone anything. You don't have to have any reactions. You can stand in front of a painting that puzzles you and simply be with those feelings until you get something from it. Because there's nobody to distract you and no one to teach. And I think one of the dangers of always assuming that the best experiences happen with our children is forgetting what it's like to have an experience, to allow ourselves to feel disappointment or dissatisfaction or even confusion, because that's what our kids feel. And there's so often that need that we have to immediately make meaning from whatever's going on, to find the good, to figure out the value, to do something that says, this is what it is for, you know? And you bring your kids thinking, it's an art museum. I'm going to teach them to appreciate art, when you haven't even yet experienced what it's like to not appreciate it, or to go and learn to appreciate it for yourself, just for your own possession. So if you want a break, give yourself permission to do something that you think is important, but that you don't understand yet. That's really a neat experience. I remember meeting a friend, a homeschooling friend, a mom who I had met on a homeschool forum. We had never met in person, and we decided to meet in Chicago to visit the Art Institute together. And we did that. And part of the wonder of that weekend for me is that I flew on a plane and I brought a book with me. And I remember waiting for her to arrive in the hotel, and I read the book on this really amazing comfy couch in the lobby for hours till she got there. And the art museum was incredible, but reading that book by myself in the lobby was also incredible. And the whole weekend just felt like, I think we arrived on a Friday night and I left on a Sunday in the middle of the day, and we had one day together. But it was just such a liberating experience. And it wasn't easy to do. I mean, I missed the only goal Johanna ever scored in soccer, going to see art that weekend with a friend I had never met in my life. Like, it will have a cost. You might miss your kid kick a soccer goal, and it might be the only one she ever does. But you know what? I was at every soccer game. I was at every play. I chose not to travel to conventions just so I could be with my kids while I was raising them. So if there is a day or an afternoon or an outing that occasionally conflicts with something that one of your 5, 6, 8 children is doing, well, that's just part of life. It's part of being human. It's a part of having conflicting needs and schedules. What did someone say here? Jody Collins says that she's going to the beach this weekend, planning to carve out time for a walk alone on the beach. Just me and my coffee and those waves. Exactly. Exactly, Jody. Oh, I love hearing that. The beach for me is probably the most restorative of all the experiences. I grew up in LA outside of Malibu, so I have a definite love affair with the ocean. So I heartily recommend that. Now I live in Ohio. So what I like to do is go get out on the water in a kayak. I like to go running. I like to walk in the woods. Those serve a similar purpose for me. Of course, I have a lot more freedom now. My kids aren't home. But even when they were, I found ways to take time out. In fact, one of the ways that I mentioned in here was going to a library. And that was a gift to me. Each week while I homeschooled, my husband stayed home with the kids, and I booked a room in the local library on Monday nights. And it was originally ostensibly to help my writing career, which it did. I did a bunch of writing during that time. But I also have shared before that it was also a room that was my sanctuary for crying. And I went in there, and there was a lot to cry about. I was exhausted. I had 5 children. I had challenges in my marriage. I had doubts and confusions about homeschool. And I spent time in there journaling, thinking, processing, and crying. And it was necessary. So don't discount the value of your own process. Not everything you do has to be happy. Sometimes the break you need is the breakdown. And if you give yourself some time to have it, you actually give yourself permission to not have it during the times of the week when you're really needed, when you need to be on, when you need to do what your kids really need from you. Know what I'm saying? So don't discount the value of time alone just to feel all those feelings you keep holding back because you're so busy serving the needs of your children and your family. Nick says she always appreciates her children more when she comes back from timeout. So she does 30 minutes of yoga alone every morning to set her up for the day, and the kids know they can't disturb her in that room. That's beautiful. I have a friend who's a dancer, and she does that. She dances in a room that is dedicated to just that, and she has time for herself. Andrea enjoyed a yummy breakfast out on Saturday with 2 dear friends and fellow homeschool moms. Filled my bucket. Oh, Andrea, I love that. I remember reading a Charlotte Mason companion in a group of 4 of us, and we met for breakfast every Saturday morning while we read that book. It was the highlight of the week. So yeah, don't feel guilty. You get to have some time. You get to carve out some time and start with baby steps. It literally might be the secret bar of chocolate in your cabinet that you know is waiting for you, that you get to sneak, that it's just for you, whatever that is. I don't mean sneak it in the, obsessive, like, I'm going to go have a shot of alcohol to numb the pain. I'm not talking about that kind of sneaking. I'm talking about being willing to guard the preciousness of some experience just for you. That's what I'm talking about. Caitlin wakes up before the kids, writes or reads with coffee. They also do 60 minutes of quiet time for reading. Rachel says, I have a teen that can watch my younger kids a couple times a week. I sneak away for a drive, coffee, and a podcast. Oh, I love that idea. So fantastic. Oh, my goodness. And the thing of it is, if you give yourself these little breaks, these little windows of opportunity to restore yourself, when you return to your children, you literally will feel a revived sense of commitment. It lets you breathe. I train for marathons. Not right now. I'm running just a usual number of miles. We usually do somewhere around 6 when I run with my partner, and during the week I'll run somewhere between 3 and 5 miles when I run. But when I'm training and we're building the miles, we actually take breaks. Like, we will run 6 or 8 miles, and all I'm looking forward to is my little packet of goo and my bottle of water. And that keeps me going for those 8 miles. And then we get there and we actually stop running and we drink some water and we eat a goo, and then we run again and we'll go another 6 miles. And I'm thinking in mile, 14, oh my gosh, just 2 more miles till I get to have a bottle of water and another goo. Like, that's how we run the long distances. We literally stop running, even though we know when we're going to do the marathon, we're not going to stop. But during training, it is so critical that we take those breaks. It's the way you build up the courage to go long past distances that you thought you could run. And that's what this is. Homeschooling is a marathon, and you get to take deliberate stops, pauses, breaks, even though there might be a day or a week where you can take none. But when you can find that moment to get the water bottle, eat the goo, do it, because that's what helps you sustain your homeschooling commitment. So this has been great. This is day 5. For those of you who don't know, today is every morning we read A Gracious Face. The goal is to read it around 8 in the morning. I announced when I first started I was just going to read it at whatever time I woke up. That's what happened today. I try to do it at 8, but sometimes it's a little before, sometimes it's a little after. Tomorrow it's going to be a little before because I'm going running. So I will see you sometime between 7 and 8 on this page at this time, reading day 6. If you do not have this book yet, you can get it at bravewriter.com/J GS Fall. And that will take you to a page where you can buy it in digital download or you can buy the print copy. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. I look forward very much to continuing this practice of reading together each morning to set up the day so it's a homeschool day gone well. And I invite you to look at our Facebook page this morning. If you are not yet a member, I'm pretty sure you have to be on Facebook Live, but you may want to let your friends know. We have created a little gift for you. In fact, I should have brought it out here. You know what? Can you stay right where you are? I'm going to go grab it. Hold on, because I want you to see it. Hold on. I'm back. I don't know why that feels worse on Facebook Live than on Periscope, but I'm back. Okay, can you see this? This is a Homeschool Brave Schooler permission slip, and we made it for you. And basically, this permission slip is going to give you permission to be the kind of home educator you want to be. I wrote a post a few weeks ago on Facebook all about what it meant to give yourself permission to have the homeschool that brings you and your kids joy, not just the homeschool you think you should be creating because you're a responsible adult. And so we decided to turn it into a permission slip that you can actually sign and date for yourself so that you're giving permission to you. It's not me giving you permission. And so, yes, it is backwards. You can't see it. But I wanted you to see what it looks like. So it's going to show up on Facebook, and you can read about it and download it and share it with friends. But basically, this is what it says. I, Julie Bogart, hereby grant myself permission to trust joy to be my guide, to listen to my kids with curiosity and follow their lead, to change course, take risks, experiment, make space for rest and relaxation, like we talked about today, to dream my ideal family life while accepting the limits of our current circumstances, to back my children as they pursue their passions, to pursue my passions, to enjoy my life and my family with love and levity today and any day I choose. And then you sign it at the bottom. Jeanette is posting the link to the permission slip now. So feel free to go there right now and click on it, and you will be able to download a copy just for yourself. Okay? So that's what we're all about here at Brave Writer. It's empowering you to be the kind of homeschooler and parent you imagined you wanted to be when you signed up to do this daunting, amazing, wonderful task. Okay? So have a fantastic day. Please share the permission slip with your friends. Let's change the culture of homeschool, shall we? Let's do this together. Let's make homeschooling something that we aren't doing like martyrs every day, suffering, slogging, fighting, hiding, sneaking, pretending away pain. Let's actually enjoy it. Let's love our kids. Let's have our lives be rich with learning and connection and expanded horizons. Let's have our homeschools be like that. And let's nurture and encourage each other so everybody feels included and valued in this task. Let's have it be the kind of community we long for by setting that example and opening that space for the people who are already in our lives. Okay? Have an awesome day. We will meet back here tomorrow. Thanks for joining me in my beautiful backyard. I'm going to milk it while we still have warm weather and I can wear short sleeves. All right? Oh, hello, Perth, Australia. Great to see you, Lulu. Mwah. Live honestly, write bravely, enjoy your children profusely. I'm Julie Bogart from Brave Writer. We're reading A Gracious Space. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everyone.